The field is now yours.
All right, folks, here we go, and welcome back. And we've got rain falling here at the field as we speak, but they're going to try to get this game underway. I apologize about the camera view, but because of the rain, it's the best we can get it with these webcams. They just don't like the rain very much, so my apologies there. So it's going to be kind of like a radio broadcast, and just tune in and pay attention, and we'll keep you up to date on everything. It's Virginia taking on Alabama. Of course, Alabama undefeated in their half of the pool, and Virginia getting a win and a loss in their part of the pool. So here we go. These two teams have played very well in the tournament so far. We'll see if they can continue to do so. Lights are on here at the Ball Diamond. The rain has been falling since probably 4 o'clock or so, and the radar screen doesn't look like it's going to give them much of a break. We're hoping so, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, the machine pitch has been postponed due to the rain. They can't use the machine pitch, so they are coach pitching right now for the other field. There's 2 fields going with coach pitch, this field and field 4. So they're going to try to get those games in. It's going to be wet. It's going to be difficult to swing and hit, and it's going to be difficult to field as well. Harrington starts things off for Virginia here in the top of the first inning. The pitch is down and low. Pitch 4, swung on and off the bat, and right into the glove of the pitcher as it just spins off the bat. And because the ball being wet, this is going to be tough for both these teams. That's kind of a shame. I thought maybe they would push this back till tomorrow morning, but they're hoping that the rain's going to blow out of here and they'll continue to dry up a little bit. But it's going to take a while for these fields to dry. The grounds crew was fantastic. They did a great job, as you can see. working hard to get it all cleaned up and trying to get it dry as possible. But again, these are grass fields. These are natural. So the umpire's trying to keep the ball dry. Hicks is at the plate for Virginia. And their left-handed pitching coach delivers. Swung on, ground ball, couple of hops, picked up by the shortstop. Long throw over to first in time for the out. Nice play. Alabama's got a very good defense on that infield. We've seen this team twice here. Seen the Virginia team twice here as well. And I'll tell you what, these two, this is going to be a battle, but Virginia's really going to have to get some runs early, I think, to be able to hold off this Alabama team, because I believe their defense is just that good. But it's a different type of play now because of the conditions. Remember, wet, moist, hard to see, hard to run, sliding. I mean, the outfielders, turf, I mean, all of it. This is going to be a tough battle for both teams. The worrying thing for me is hopefully nobody gets hurt. These kind of conditions, if these youngsters aren't used to playing in it and it's too wet, that could be really a bad news thing for these two teams. It seems like the rain has slowed down a little bit now. That one swung off and fouled out of the park, or out of the diamond here, though. Check swing and goes against the fence. I don't know if you can see the water spray off the ball or not. One out here in the inning. Second batter to play, or third batter to 2 outs, my bad. And the umpires are checking on something. I'm not sure. He fouled that off. I think they're checking the count. I believe that's what they're doing. Checking to see, I believe this will be pitch 5. Swung on and just out of the reach of the third baseman Woody as that drops over his glove. That'll be a single. That young man over at third base is a very good ball player. And he just missed that. Another inch or two height-wise, and he's got that ball. He'll grow into that. But he's a really good player. I like that young man, Mike Woody. Here's Sutherland now, right side. He's the fourth batter in the lineup. He's got a man at first and 2 down. Umpire calls for the pitch. We are covered here outside, thankfully. And when the rain came, we had to pack everything nice and tight, keep it dry as possible. But then popped up behind the plate. Searles diving back and slides and makes the catch. There's advantage, Rain. Because he can slide, and he's got to like that for the out. So a big out there with a runner at first, and we've completed the top half of the first, no score. And now Alabama will come to the plate. And like I said, they have got a very good ball club up and down the lineup. Suhaki, Banto, Roush, Summers, Wilson, Woody, Lavonda, Searles, Hall, Griggs, Duncan, McCall. That is your lineup for the Alabama squad. And we have talked a lot about this squad and how good they are and how good they can be. And we'll find out what they're going to do here. Don't forget, if you want to download any of the games in this week's tournament, they're only $5 each. Make sure you email us at info@jockjive.com. Tell us what games you want. We'll send an electronic invoice that allows you to pay by debit card or credit card, and the games will be on their way to you. That's info@jockjive.com for a keepsake you'll want to have for a lifetime. So, see, the rain has cleared a little bit. The camera getting a little better as the moisture getting out of it. So, here's a little better picture. Hopefully you can see those. And for all of those listening all over the United States, I say thank you. I appreciate the comments that have come in from coaches and parents and so forth, how they've enjoyed this tournament and the games here on Field 2. And thank you very much. I love what I do, and that's why I do it. So Bryson Suhaki comes to the plate to lead things off, and Bantel will be in the on-deck circle. Coach trying to get a feel for the pitch so he can throw to his kids. And behind the plate is Jacob Hicks, trying to make sure that none of these balls hit the ground. That's the tough part about it. Don't want to get them wet. The umpire's doing a good job out there keeping things dry. Here we go. Sahaki will lead it off for Alabama. Bottom of the first inning. Swung on, ground ball towards third. Little bobble there, and again, water going to be a problem. So over to first goes Sahaki. Bantel will come to the plate now. Swung on, popped up left side. Third base trying to get there in time and does not. You can see they did a pretty nice job on the field as the camera clearing up just a little bit more. But again, still wet out there, and the rain has seemed to subside a little bit. To third, they'll go to second for the first and the force outs. So the fielder's choice was 5-4. Bantel to first. The runner out. Going to second is Sahaki. One away, one on. And Alabama's Roush comes to the plate from the left side. Swung on and fouled off. The forecast does not look like it's going to bring us any sunshine, even though it would be just about that time for it to be setting. It would be nice if it came out for a little while, dried things up a little bit, but I think this is the best we're going to get. And we just have to hope for no more rain. Fouled off. He's got 2 strikes on him now, so he's got to make sure he doesn't chase, and he's got to get his pitch. Summers is in the on-deck circle. Roush at the plate. Going down in the dirt. Umpire getting a couple more balls from Coach Wilson, trying to dry things off as we speak. One down, one on. Line shot right down the right field side, but unfortunately that one went foul. We need a towel boy to just keep the balls dry here. Swung on, and that lifted left side, and you see it splash in the water over there. He's talked about putting a bucket of dry out here to keep the balls in, to keep them dry. I don't know if that would do any good. Might be going through more of it than you've got. There's a line shot, going to get in between 2 players out into right center field. They're going to send the runner from second to third. Here comes the throw, and the hitter will continue down to second. So that's pretty excited about making it down there. He was kind of surprised the coach brought him, but opportunity here for Alabama. Second and third, 1 out. Summers comes to the plate. And he'll dig in literally with that left foot. Didn't like the first one, lets it go by. And there's pitch 2, and didn't like that one either. Again, Winner. It's a hard hit ball off the second baseman's glove into right field. They're going to send the second runner. They're still watching, and he goes in. No throw at all. Holding on to the ball was the shortstop, and no throw. So Alabama, who's very aggressive on the base paths, picks up the first 2 runs on the single by Summers.
get your hands off your knees. Get ready.
And here's Wilson now to the plate. So the winner here will face Texas and Louisiana. Tennessee won their game earlier today. They beat North Carolina in a wild one before the rain came. Wilson at the plate, runner aboard, one down. Slaps that one into left. That's going to bounce for a base hit. And sliding into second goes Summers. And the Alabama squad is doing what it did yesterday, and they continue to hit the ball well. They plated 2 runs. They got 2 runners aboard for the third baseman, Mike Woody. Now this kid, you talk about some wheels. Even though he's a small guy, you can see he's a little guy. He can really fly. And he's got a good stick, too.
Ready, Reese?
And that one's sailing through the water and spinning back here. And Jacob Hicks doing a lot of chasing of these wet balls back here behind the plate for Virginia right now. Mike trying to make something happen here with 2 runners aboard. Swung on and fouled off to the side just over the pop-ups of the fans over there for Alabama. Summers is out at second, Wilson at first. Ground ball through the hole into center field. They're going to send Summers. He's going to come home. They're yelling, hold it. They will hold Wilson out at 2. Woody gets an RBI, and Alabama now leads it 3-0. It's a ball hit out into right center field, caught for the out for Lavanda. That's 2 down. Computers maybe not liking the moisture here, so I apologize if the scoreboard at times does not show correctly. It is 3-0. Bottom of the first, 2 runners aboard, 2 outs. Searles at the plate. He is the catcher for the Alabama team, making the final out in the top of the first inning on a pop-up that went up and over his head, but he got back to it, slid on his knees, and caught it, taking advantage of the watery grass to slide in and make that grab. Fouled off against fence. That ball drilled into center field, deep and over the head of everybody, all the way to the wall. Searles is rounding and going for 2. 2 runs are going to score as Woody comes to the plate. So Lavanda with a big double has plated 2 RBIs, and Alabama breaking it out here, Searles, has broke it out early. Lavanda, he flew out to center field on the last at-bat. So Searles is down at second base. Hall comes to the plate. 2 more runs have crossed. And it's now 5 for Alabama. Runner at 6. Searles Hall to the plate. Slap that one through the hole again. Right over there, going to wave Searles home. Here he comes. Throw from the shortstop, being held up. Runner at first goes back to the bag. That's Hall. Hall with a single and an RBI. 6-zip. Alabama just tearing the cover off the ball right now. 6-0. Alabama over Virginia. We're only in the bottom of the first. We talked about the weather. Well, it's cleared up. The rain has stopped. We still have gray skies over us. There is a light wind. But again, field conditions are not prime for a good baseball game. like you'd like. That one takes a weird hop off the dirt at third, gets by the third baseman. All down to second. Griggs down to first on a single. Coming to the 11th man in the order, it'll be Duncan with 2 runners aboard. First and second, 2 outs.
Now batting, number 6, Beckham Duncan.
So Duncan looks at a pitch. He didn't care for that. Duncan and McCall, last 2 guys left in the order, and they'll bat it around if they make it to the plate. There's a hard smash to third, underneath the glove and through the legs. Everybody's safe. You've got to really get down now. You got to do everything you can to stop that ball. It's going to make some spins. It's going to bounce. It's going to go crazy with the water. And it's going to be tough to handle. So the last man in the order now is McCall, and he's the 12th man. They'll have sent all 12 to the plate here in the first inning. Alabama on a tear right now. 6-0 early lead and still more opportunities. He'll tomahawk that one deep right out to second base. Sorry, it looked like it was going a lot farther and finally caught. They send all 12 men to the plate. They pick up 6 big runs to start the bottom of the first. We've completed 1. Top of the second coming up next. Virginia coming to the plate. And they have got to find something to get going. Populars, Smith, and Hicks. When we return, I'll be right back and I'm going to get a refreshment.
I don't care what color.
You got to come out here and beat somebody. You ain't wait for somebody to lay down and let you run over them. No, you got to beat them. You got to take them. So get up, be confident, pay attention like we've been talking about, and quit what y'all were doing in here before the game started on the field. All right? Let's go. Come on. All we got to do is hit the ball. Swing the bat. Hit the ball. Hit the ball. All right, go. They didn't do it like Arnold, though. We kind of gave it to them, all right? So now go back and take
Very kindly, sir.
1, 2, 3.
All right, folks, welcome back. We are in the top of the second inning. The rain has stopped for the moment. So that's good news, and hopefully it is done for the evening. But the field conditions, not the best that they can be made, and they are playing the game. And they're trying to get one of the other fields going. Again, for those of you that have tuned in looking for later games, which are where we should be, we're in game 3 of the 6 that were scheduled for today. This is Alabama and Virginia. After this, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if we're going to continue to play ball or what have you, but we'll keep you up to date and we'll keep you posted and let you know. We are technically.
Do you have any quick dry they can put on the pitcher? They don't have any more, they say. That's what they said, Coach. Now, I don't know that. That's what they told me.
Well, right now, they're saying there's no more quick dry available to the ball field at all. That is not going to help at all either. So now you got to play on the conditions you dealt with here. Poplar is to the plate, and he'll lead things off here for Virginia. Top of the second inning, swings at the first pitch into right field and over the head of the right fielder. He'll head for second. The throw will come in from the right center fielder. He'll slide in with a double. So Virginia, the coach pumping them up here in the dugout before they went out there saying, don't lay down. You got to go out there and beat a team. You got to go out there and win. Maybe it was enough to get them pumped up enough to get Virginia going. From the left side of the plate, it'll be Smith with a runner at second and nobody out. So Virginia trying to make some noise here. Gets a runner aboard again. There's a slap to short. They'll fire over to first for 1. Get that one. The relay back to third. Past the third baseman, and runner leaves late. Here comes the throw. No, he's going to go back. Boy, good idea. If you're undecided, you got to turn around. If you don't get the coach's yell, you got to turn around. You cannot attempt to go for it. Don't get thrown out. Don't run into the out. They do move him on the 6-3 for the out. That's 1. But they do advance the runner down to third. Hicks at the plate now for Virginia. Jacob, the catcher, swings and misses. Looking to try to get that run home, get something on the board for Virginia, break the goose egg. Swung on. Right side, first base, chasing after it, can't get there in time. So it'll be strike 2. So he's got to connect. He's got to hit it or he's got to foul it off, one or the other. See the coach tell him, keep your eye on the ball. Make it a good swing. Temperature dropped down to about 76. It actually felt pretty nice. So at least of all of the things that the rain did, at least it cooled it off a little bit here. It actually felt pretty good to walk out in the showers earlier. Swung on, popped up right side. Second base will make the catch. Here comes the runner. They sent him. Now they got him in between the bags. Back to Woody. Woody to the plate. Tag, put on and got him. Boy, you got to be aggressive, yes, but you don't want to run into the third out. That's a big, big mistake there. You don't want to run into the third out. Take the second out, leave the man at third, and let the next batter try to bring him home. So they get the second and third out, respectively, on the tag there at home. So nothing again for Virginia. We're going to the bottom of 2 coming up next right here, JockJive.com.
They have to send her a thing. Thank you. Yes, you can't call them. Nobody will answer it because everybody's out and about.
Welcome back, everybody, and boy, that's a tough one there. I know you're trying to break the goose egg. I know you're trying to score. Oh, man, that hurts. You're thinking maybe across the field. And sometimes you do that stuff to force the error on the other team. Alabama's very good at what they do, and they made a perfect throw. Then they got him in the rundown, and there was nothing, unfortunately, nothing that Popazar could do. He was caught in between the two bags. The throw was perfect to the plate. They laid the tag down. So Alabama comes now to the bottom of the second inning here with a 6-0 lead.
Hey, focus out there, guys.
And Virginia has to play some D, and they need a quick 1-3 inning, that's for sure. So we get this game underway about, what do we say? Probably a good hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes later than what we should have been playing. So will they play the other games? We'll keep you up to date on what's happening as well throughout the tournament. There are decisions being made about other diamonds and the machine pitch and coach pitch and things of that nature, but they are trying to get other games underway. There's a hard shot to third, knocked down, picked up. He'll have no throw. We'll give an infield single there to Sahaki. That was a tough hit, tough play over there at third base. Did a nice job of knocking it down. That is Eddie Baker, but he just couldn't find the handle. And again, maybe the moisture on the baseball. Grounder again. Baker picks up this one, fires to second, but he's overthrown the bag. Runner's going to get up and go. Then the right center fielder misplays it. Coach waving him home at third, and now he takes off, so Hockey's going to go. He bobbled the ball in the middle of the infield, and Banto ends up down at second base after the single, and Sahaki just runs around the bases. And now they've got a 7-0 lead. No runner at second.
Hey, put it back to the original.
And Roush will be coming to the plate here as a timeout is called. And we're going to make some changes, it looks like, on the infield. Moving over to third base now is going to be Charlie Harrington. Moving out to second is Reese Smith. So Virginia makes some defensive changes. And Eddie Baker is sitting on the bench right now. He was having a rough time over there at third. Coach going to talk to him. Hey, you know, it's not always a perfect game. You just, some nights you got it, some nights you don't. We seen Eddie Baker earlier in his Virginia games played great third base. Tonight, like I said, here's the conditions. Again, it's wet, moist. Ball rolls through the grass. By the time it gets to you, it may take a weird hop or a bounce. It's wet. It's hard to pick up, hard to control. So this is a tough one, but Alabama's taken advantage of it and got out to an early lead, 7-zip. The runner at second and nobody out here in the second. And Roush is at the plate. He's already singled and scored tonight so far. It doesn't mean Virginia's out of the tournament. It means they will go to the other side of the bracket if Alabama holds on to this win. And that ball just went right into the puddle.
Hey, be ready, guys. Let's make a play.
The umpire trying to shake out the towel there. He's having a tough time because it's still too wet. Back to the fence. Whoa, look out. Summers in the on-deck circle. Alabama, again, trying to close out an opponent quickly. They've got a 7-0 lead. Remember, there is a 15-run rule after 3, a 10-run rule after 4. We saw one of those earlier today.
Hey, be ready, guys. Here we go.
10-run rule game.
Stay focused. Stay focused.
High fly ball, left center field. Coming in. Tried the basket catch, didn't work. Hit the glove, came out. Here comes the throw to third. They got him. Down the throw down, back to the mound. Roush will go to second on the drop fly ball. But they do get an out of it as Banto is caught coming to third base. So 1 out, still a runner at second for Summers. And he looks at the first one, didn't like it. Try the second one and see what he gets. Ground ball towards third. Knocked out Harrington. Good glove, good arm, and get him at first. But nobody covering this bag, and the runner, Roush, moves to third. But they do get the second out on a really nice play by Harrington over there at third. He's got a great glove, and he's got a good arm. And they needed that badly. They needed some really good defensive play here in this inning to shut it down. They've only given up 1 run. Slapped into center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. A run is going to score here on the single by Wilson as Roush will come home. It's now 8-0. And Mike Woody back to the plate. Slaps that one. Ground ball to short. Couple of hops. They'll throw to second, and they will get the out on the force, and that'll end the inning. So they pick up 2 more. They lead it now 8-0 here after 2 completes. Going to the top. Top of the third next. It's 8-0 right now. Alabama on top. And Virginia getting ready to come to the plate. Browning, Adams, Baker. Again, you want copies of the games, make sure you email us, info, at JockJive.com. Make sure you tell us what games you'd like and the ones you watched. Once we get the info from you that you want CDs, or downloads, I should say, once you get that info that you want to download, we're going to electronically email you back. And that way you can pay for it by debit or credit card, and you can then see how much it's going to cost you. They're $5 a game, so you want 3 games, 4 games, 1 game, whatever the case may be. But make sure when you're doing the email that you put if you know the date of the game and the 2 teams that played, so we get you the right download. Okay? Info, INFO, at JockJive, JockJive.com. Don't forget, we're on Facebook as well. If you ever have a question, you can post it there on our Facebook page. If you don't have our Facebook page, you should. Go to your search engine, type in JockJive Sports, click on the link, and then give us a like and a follow, and you'll be able to keep up to date with everything. You'll be able to know when, like, delays happen today, scores, up-to-date events, who's playing who, when, where, why. All of that available to you. Virginia to the plate with Browning, Adams, and Baker. They had a runner last time at third base. Sent him on 2 outs. See if they'd be a little less aggressive, try to get a run here. They need something in the third. They find themselves down by 8 runs. Swing and a miss. Browning trying to overkill that ball. You just got to meet it. Stays in there. Got a hold of it that time. Ripped it into left field, but unfortunately right into the glove of the left fielder who was almost laid out for that one. Nice grab out there and left. 1 away. And here's Chase Adams now to the plate, his first time. Baker in the on-deck circle. Can Virginia get something on the board here? They need it right now. Slapped into right center field. That'll fall in for a base hit. Knocked down by the right center fielder. Will keep it to a single. And Adams on with 1 single there to get things going. Now they've had a runner in every inning for Virginia. Now they've got a plate sub. Here's Baker. Bama with that 8-0 lead knows they need 2 more runs in the 4th inning, and this game's all but done unless Virginia can put some runs on the board. Coach was ready to go. Umpire wasn't. Pitch a little high, and Baker waits it out. Outfield kind of close, actually. I mean, ground ball back to the mound, knocked down, turn, spin, throws to second for 1, relay to first. Oh, in time, double play ball. Look at that, 1-4-3. Man, I'll tell you what, that was a beautiful double play ball. And that's, I believe, only the second one I've seen so far in the tournament. So they turned 2. What a play. Bottom of 3. Virginia still without a run on the scoreboard. And now a big opportunity here for Alabama. They've got an 8-0 lead. If they score 2, they put up 10. And if they hold the Virginia to 3 outs, it's over in the top of the 4th. Alabama will not have to bat. If they put up a bunch of runs here in the 3rd, their game was 7 runs. They played 6 in the first, 2 in the second. Alabama definitely on a roll right now. Virginia looking a little flat right now and a little confused as players being sent out to positions and looking at the coach like, what? And I'm not sure why, because this is not the style of play we saw in the first 2 games. Even though they lost one of those 2, they still play really good ball. But again, the conditions they started out in was not easy. And there were some balls that were coming off the ground and off the grass that were tough to handle. They were spinning and turning different ways and bouncing. And Alabama got on that roll in that first inning, sending 12 batters to the plate. And when you can send 12 guys to the plate, you're going to score some runs. And they did. They put up a half dozen. Waiting on the catcher to get his gear on. And this is Seth Yancey now going to come behind the plate. And he'll take his turn, do some catching. As Lavonda steps in, Searles in the on-deck circle. Umpire asking for the gate to be closed. We really need to kind of try to figure out how to get some of that water away from that gate. And that would help. And we're by the gate coming in, too, here is a big old puddle. Popped up, left center field, coming hard, and can't get there. It'll be a fair ball. It'll drop in for a base hit. Good effort out there in left center field by Justin Popolars, but he just couldn't get there in time. Laid out, tried to make the basket catch. Like I say, sometimes too deep, sometimes too far back, and at that time he was probably in the right position, but that ball just spun up and stayed up, and then it came down quickly. They call that a Texas League single. So here's Searles, who had a double his first time up and scored a run back in the first inning. He's got a runner at first. The computer won't. There we go. Slaps that one through the hole between short and third. And it'll be runners at first and second on another single for Searles. Another hit, I should say. That's 2 for 2 now. And the 2 runners aboard that Alabama needs. Virginia needs a double play ball, and they've got to be expecting the opportunity to try to get the go-ahead runner at third. Runners at first and second. And there everybody's saying, get the runner at third, get the runner at third. He's forced. Swing and a miss by Hall. Hall with a single his first time up, got all the way to third before play ended in the first. Popped up right side of the infield, backing up first base. And it dropped. Right fielder right behind him. Nobody can make the play. Everybody's safe. They're rounding the runner at third, and Roush will turn around and go back. And it'll be bases loaded. It was out of the infield. That's why the infield fly rule was not called. And now you got bases loaded and nobody out for Griggs. Singled his first time up. Alabama again with an opportunity to break this open and end this one quickly. Like I said, the rain finally did stop about the second inning, and we've had no rain since. So now they just got to hope for the fields to kind of dry themselves. Swung on, fouled off right side. We heard reports there was no more quick dry in the maintenance shed, so rake and hope. Ground ball towards third. Step on the bag for one, throw to first, pulled his first baseman off the bag. So Lavonda scores. Searles is out number 1 on the fielder's choice. Griggs is now down at second, and Hall came down on the throw. He's at third. So the 9th run has come across the plate, and you got runners at second and third. So that 10th run is right down there at third base. That is Hall. Griggs is at second. Duncan is at the plate. And again, a little too low. Tough on a coach because the sizes of some of these boys changes. You know, he's used to throwing a pretty decent area, and then all of a sudden the guy comes up who's not as big, and he has to lower that target zone. Swung on, slow roller to the mound, picked up. They'll go to first. They'll sacrifice the run, and they'll get back to the mound, and time will be called. So Hall will score. It'll go 1-3 on Duncan's out number 2. Down to third goes Griggs. They got their 10 runs. 2 outs, though, in the inning. And McCall to the plate. He popped out to second base to end the first inning when they had sent 12 batters to the plate. Swung on, fouled off. I'll tell you what, Seth Yancey is having a whole lot of fun behind the plate because of the wet conditions sliding in on the knee pads. They are just covered in mud right now. Slow roller. Going to be not an easy ball to get to, and it's going to be a base hit. Come off the end of the bat, just spun. And McCall down to first. Swinging bunt, as they say. Another run scored. Now it's 11-0. Runner at first is McCall. And Sahaki to the plate. 2 singles tonight and a run scored. Away from ending this game here early. And actually, again, remember, they've already got the 10 runs needed to end it in 4. So right now, Virginia's looking at having to score at least 2 runs in the 4th with 3 outs to work with. Here's a ground ball to the mound. Turn. He didn't know where he was going. He looked at second and he didn't go. Wow, big mistake there, and the runners will be safe. It'll be a mental error on the pitcher, basically. Sahaki down at first, McCall at second. And he just didn't know which way to go with it. Either that or he looked and there was nobody there. I was kind of screened by the umpire here, but it looked like the shortstop covered the bag. Either way, though, first and second, still 2 outs in the inning, and the right-hander Banto comes to the plate. A single tonight and a fielder's choice. And scored a run as well. Slow roller again out in front of the plate. Nobody's going to be able to get there in time. And the ball just spinning off the bat. And with the wetness, it's not going anywhere. Now bases loaded. And the bases are loaded for Roush, who's scored 2 runs and hit the ball well tonight. He got a single, then he got on by an error by the left fielder. The ball popped out of the glove.
Hey, Reese! Everybody go this way hard! Hey, catch the ball! Okay!
Coach is trying to move everybody around for Virginia, and Roush is just kind of looking in the dugout saying, I know where I'm going. And he does, right through the hole at first and second. Perfect opportunity for a left-hander. They'll throw in, they'll send the second runner coming to the plate. 2 runs will score. That'll be McCall scoring first, followed by Sahaki. Banto goes down to second. Single for Roush. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. 13-0. 2 more runs, game is over. So right now, Summers with a good wrap here can probably end this ball game depending on the speed of Roush. Ooh, slices that one right side and out of play. Wilson is in the dugout. So there's 2 outs, 2 runners aboard. They've got a 13-0 lead. So they're already 4 runs up for the 4th inning of play. That ball's going to get past the shortstop into runner's going to score. Runners again, first and second. Summers with a single. Roush down to second base. Banto all the way around. That's 14. They need 1 more and it's over with, folks. Wow, Virginia just getting hammered here. Alabama's showing everything here. Here's Wilson. Wilson 2 singles tonight and a run score. Timeout being called. $14-0 right now. Small ball. Back to the mound. They'll throw to third, and they'll get the out. And that'll end the inning and the threat. So they sent 11 batters to the plate that time. So they pick up 6 more runs. They lead at 14-0. Now, actually what would have happened is they would have had to play the top of the 4th either way because Virginia has not had everybody come to the plate. They still had 2 to go, Yancey and Diener. So they would have played anyway. But here's the top of the 4th now. It's 14-0. They have 3 outs to work with. They've got to score 5 runs. Otherwise, 5 runs. Otherwise, it's over. 10-run rule. This one would be 4 innings. Yancey, Diener, and then top of the order. So right now what you need to do is just to get on base. No matter how you can do it, no matter what you got to do, you got to get on base. And then you got to have heads-up base running. Don't make any mistakes. Don't run into any outs. That's a lot to ask, but the Virginia team's got talent. They can do it if they try hard enough. But right now they've just run into a steamroller in this Alabama team. They are very, very good. So Yancey being called to the plate by the umpire and being a little impatient because nobody was coming. He'll come to the plate followed by Diener, and we'll see if the Virginia squad can break the goose egg, or is this one over with. So Yancey will take the first pitch and let it go by. This will be the second game today that we have seen a 10-run rule in effect. There's a hard shot, ground ball towards first. Foul ball is called, so he'll come back. Just went foul at the last second. Otherwise, that's an unassisted out number 1. Popped up on the infield, coming hard, and second base can't get there. It's going to drop in, and it is going to be a base hit to start it, and there's the first base runner that Virginia needs. Everybody was calling for it, and then nobody wanted to take it, and Roush a little late coming to get it. On the mound, didn't go as hard either, so Diener at the plate, and you can hear the crowd yelling, Diener, 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 not dinner, Diener. And Diener at the plate with nobody out and a runner aboard. And down there at first is Yancey shaking the hands because I think that one stung a little bit. Either that or he's just a little antsy right now, one or the other. Wanting to go. There's 2 pitches, no swings by Diener. Charlie Harrington in the on-deck circle. We know what he can do, so if Virginia can get another runner aboard, we know Harrington can hit the ball. Like I said, they need 5, though, to stay in the game. Popped up again off the bat, shallow, right to the mound, and caught. And as they run into each other, boy, they got to be careful. Coach yelling, call it, call it, call it. And I think the pitcher did, but Roush come in hard and ran right into it. So now it is Harrington who popped out to the pitcher his first time. Ground ball down the third base line, but it just flares foul to the left side. Hicks is in the on-deck circle. 1 away, 2 outs to work with, 5 runs needed. They asked for hopefully maybe a drier ball than what he had. Hard ground shot to third. Woody picks it up, fires to second for 1. Go get the force on Yancey. He'll be out number 2. The fielder's choice. Goes 5-4. Harrington down at first, 2 outs. And it's all up to Chase Hicks to keep things going as Everett comes to the on-deck circle. But Hicks has got to get himself out, and out recorded here, and this one is done in 4. In Alabama with that big first inning, 6-2 and then 6 more. Really broke this game open actually in the first. It was all Alabama. There's a drive that's going to go way out to left center field. What a beautiful hit by Hicks. Being held up at third and making sure they don't try to run into an out. Good idea is Harrington. And a double for Hicks. Boy, that was a big piece of hitting there. So Everett comes to the plate now. 2 runners on. Second and third. Knows he's got to plate both of those to keep this thing going. He's got to get on base. 2 down, and Everett takes the first one. He's a lefty. Boy, his shot would be right up the middle between first and second if he can get it. He'll go the other way towards short. Picked up by the shortstop. Throw over to first. Pulls the first baseman off the bag. Run will score, and it's first and third. Briggs couldn't pull it down. Harrington scores. First run of the ball game, so they won't be shut out. First and third. Run scores, 14-1. At the plate is Sutherland, who out the pop-up to the catcher last time, so they're making sure that the catcher is aware of that. Ooh, fouled it off his own leg. That's going to hurt because they don't get to wear the guard. He is down. That one hurt. In all my life of playing ball, I mean, I wasn't the greatest hitter, I'll admit that. But I never fouled one off myself, and I see it so much now, and I don't know why. I mean, I know in the major leagues it's because of certain types of pitches and things that they do, and now these guys wear these shin guards and leg guards and knee guards and ankle guards. But he caught that one right on the top of the foot, so he's going to feel that. That cleat's going to protect him a little bit, but still, that is it's a painful shot there as he spun it right down on the top of his foot. He says he's okay. He's going to stay in. He says, all right, coach, bring it. Let's go. Got more important things to do than to worry about the pain I've got in my left foot. I want to get these two runners home. First and third. There's a shot to the mound. Gloved by the pitcher. Thrown to second. And that will end the ball game. Fielder's choice goes 1-4. Third out recorded. And Virginia is the loser in this one. They do just pick up one run. So 14-1, this one over by the 10-run rule after 4. So again, a big round of applause for the Emma squad. And there's final 14-1. I apologize, the computer was having some issues there and wasn't putting the score up right, and it kept saying final, and we'll get to work on that and get that fixed. But again, thanks for tuning in. Alabama now going to move on. They win this one by a score of 14-1. Virginia not out of it by any means. They'll move down into the next bracket. Alabama will into a bracket there. And not sure what's going on here. The coaches chatting with each other, and maybe now going to shake hands. There they go. So congratulations to Alabama moving on. 14-1 winners over Virginia in 4 innings. That is our final. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back, I think, for another game coming up after this. We'll see.